All right, guys, I hope you're having a great day today. Today, we're going to talk about the concept of a lullaby in music. Now, we've talked about lullabies before, but just to review, think about where you might hear a lullaby. Think about what lullaby music is for. We've talked about this before, but lullabies are usually used to put people to sleep, particularly babies. They're supposed to be relaxing and help them fall asleep and have some sort of feeling that is relaxing and not too complicated. So we're going to look at a lullaby today called a Sioux Lullaby, but it's spelled Sioux. Now, Sioux is a Native American tribe that is native to a lot of places in the United States, including North and South Dakota, and there were also some in Illinois as well. But this style of lullaby is a little different than maybe you might be used to, and it also uses some interesting instruments. So I'm going to do the melody for you, so you can hear what it sounds like, and then we're going to try it together. Loo, here's your first note. Loo, 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 loo. 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 So there's only a few different notes in it, but we're going to talk about it right now. So we remember do and so. Now, do and so is in the song a lot. Do, so, so. But there's also some different ones in there. And this song is actually in minor, which when we've talked about before, minor is usually the sad sounding one, and major is the happy sounding one. But we don't usually think of a lullaby as being sad, so we have to think about why would this be in minor. But I'm going to do the first part and then have you repeat it back to me. So I'm going to sing it and then I'll hum it and you can sing it back. Loo, 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 loo. Now you try. Here's the second part. I'll try it and then I'll have you sing it back to me. Loo, 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 loo. Your turn. Then we do the first part again. Loo, 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 loo. Try it. So I'm going to do the whole thing, which means you do the first part, the second part, and then the first part again. And you can try and sing it with me. On the word loo. Ready? And. Loo, 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 loo. Loo, 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 loo. So you kind of see and feel how this would be a good song to fall asleep to. It's kind of relaxing, it's gentle. But we're going to add in a couple of instruments to this that make it a little bit more interesting. Now, we've used drums before, and this style of song actually does use drums in a pretty cool way. And there's a repeating pattern. Ti, ti, ta, ti, ti, ta. And that goes out the whole song. So I was just singing it. Loo, 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 loo. Loo, 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 loo. So the drum does the same thing throughout the whole song. So we're going to try it again, and you can either pat in your leg, you can clap, you can pat on the desk, something like that, something that would mimic a drum. So you can go ahead and try that with me. So first let's try ti ti ta. Ti ti ta, ti ti ta, ti ti ta, ti ti ta. So now we're going to go through it and go ahead and drum along with me. Ti ti ta throughout the whole thing. Ready? You can try to sing along as well if you'd like. 1, 2, 3, go. Loo, 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 loo. 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 So that one's pretty easy. That's one instrument that we're familiar with. But the reason why I picked the song this week is because it actually uses a really cool instrument that you might not even think of as an instrument. But I got 2 rocks from outside, and this song actually uses rocks in part of the rhythm. So when you hit them together, it makes kind of a cool sound. And you may have not thought you could use rocks as an instrument, but it's a cool thing that you can kind of just grab from outside, especially now that the snow is melting. So the rocks, try to find two that are similar in size and that won't crumble when you hit them together. I also had to clean mine off a little bit, but that's okay. And don't get too big because you got to make sure they're not too heavy. But the rocks are used in a quarter note rhythm. For the whole song. So this one's a little bit different. Instead of ti-ti-ta, it's just ta, 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 ta. So when we're singing throughout, it's going to sound like this. Lu, 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 lu. Lu, 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 lu. Lu, 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 lu. Lu, lu, throughout the whole thing. So if you want to, you can pause and go try to find two rocks. You could also snap for this, you could pat for this, you could pat on your legs for one and pat on the table for another, but I'm pretty sure you probably have some rocks you can find outside and make sure that they're clean, you don't make a mess. But you can pause the video and try and go find one, and let's try it together. 1, 2, ready, go. Lu, 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 lu. So this is kind of a cool song because once you put it all together with the vocal line, the rocks, and the drums, it makes a really cool sound. Now, I can't do all of them at once on my own, so I recorded each part individually and put them together into one video, which you're going to see in a second. So what I'd like you to try to do, I go through the lullaby 3 different times. What you can do is you can try and play along with the different parts. You can try to play along with the drum for one time, try and play along with the rocks for another time. You can try and sing for another. You can try to do 2 at once. Obviously, I don't think you could do the rocks and the drums at the same time unless you're very, very talented. But you could do a vocal line and one of the instruments at the same time. You could go through and do a different one each time. But experiment with the different things that you can do and think about where you might sing a song like this, where you might hear a song like this, and maybe why rocks are chosen as one of the instruments for this when we've never used rocks as instruments before. So guys, I'm going to play that in just a second. Have fun and good luck. 1, 2, 3, lu, lu.